Today I get to drive a C8 ZR1. 1,064 horsepower will be at the tip of my hands and feet here pretty soon. But first, let's hear this lovely sound of the C8 Z06. Curious to feel the power delivery of the C8 ZR1 compared to the C8 Z06. Obviously, the ZR1 has the turbos and a lot more power, and that thing is gonna sing. But the sound of the C8 Z06 without having the turbos muffling the exhaust note, this sound from this flat plane crank V8 NA is just next level. I'm curious to hear what the C8 ZR1 sounds like when you start, driving it and ripping around a little bit. Don't worry, we're gonna do some exhaust audio check. If you're wondering how to get this exact sound of my C8 Z06, go to the links in the description of this video. I'm rolling up on this Cars and Coffee meet. It's gonna be somewhere over here, and I gotta go check out these cars once I get there and find the ZR1. All right, let's see, where is this car at? All right, so we just landed here. We got the C8 ZR1, got the C8 Z06. We're gonna go find a spot where we can shoot the rest of this video, but we came to this Cars and Coffee here. Here is the Temecula Cars and Coffee, pretty cool event. I never knew anything about this event. Might have to visit it a few times, but yeah, C8 Z06, C8 ZR1, we are going to do a fun video. It is going to be exhaust check. We're gonna do exterior, interior, a little drive. I will actually get to drive the C8 ZR1, my first time ever driving ZR1, lucky me. And it's gonna be fun. We just got to the spot right now, and I have the C8 Z06 right there to my right and the C8 ZR1 to my left. But we also have some special guests with a specially honorable mention for the C8 Stingray. We got a Z51 with us as well, because we're gonna look through all of them before we go on a ride in the C8 ZR1. So one thing you're gonna need to know first is the specs on these cars. So let's start with the C8 Stingray. The C8 Stingray came out in 2020. It has the LT2 engine in it. It's a naturally aspirated 6.2 liter V8 with 495 horsepower from the factory. And the thing was pretty quick and definitely no slouch at all for a sports car. But then came 3 years later, the C8 Z06. C8 Z06 came with 670 horsepower, naturally aspirated, a flat plane crank V8, very different than the cross plane crank V8 you get in the Stingray. And this thing was an absolute unit with its LT6 engine. This car was a masterpiece. Ended up going out and just crushing it on tracks, whether it was drag strips, road courses, all around the world. But now the new king is out. It is the C8 ZR1. The C8 ZR1 with 1,064 horsepower, LT7. It's a flat plane crank V8 with twin turbos cranking out so much power. The most power GM has ever created on any vehicle in its entire history. And for those who don't know, the car just went to the Nürburgring and ran a 6-minute, 50-second lap at the Nürburgring, toppling the GTD, Ford's absolute beast of a track car that they recently built, and they are releasing here pretty soon. But guess what? The ZR1 went to Nürburgring and crushed it. But today's video is about comparing this Z06 and the ZR1, and we'll throw a little bit of Stingray in there too as well, because I want everyone to see what the differences are in these cars before we actually get on the road and drive. We're gonna start with exterior on these cars, right? So we'll start here with the Stingray so you can look at it. So the Stingray right here has a very beautiful look. It's obviously mid-engine, just like all these cars here. But you look at it, you can clearly see that it's not as wide as the Z06 and the ZR1. A lot of people wonder when they're looking at these on the street, what's the differences? Let's start off with the front bumper right here. So you can see the C8 Stingray Z51, here's that front bumper. But now if you look at the Z06, here's the Z06 front bumper, and then you take a look at the ZR1, and here's the ZR1 front bumper. The ZR1 front bumper and the Z06 front bumper are very, very similar, but where you start seeing the differences between these two cars is you look at the hood, right? So on the hood, this ZR1 has an extra cooler up front, extra radiator for helping cool, whether it's oil, water temps, whatever it is. I don't know exactly which cooler this one goes to, but it has an extra cooler up front where the air sucks in and helps out with downforce and helps out cooling. So it had to have this big old hole up here, which has mesh to help protect it, but it had to have that. The Z06 doesn't come with that because the Z06 comes with a real frunk, and we'll show you what that frunk looks like. You can have storage and everything, but there's no extra coolers here. All the extra coolers are just here in the front fascia, and then also there on the side as well on both sides. But when you go to the Stingray does have coolers up front, but it doesn't have some in the front, and it has some smaller ones on the sides, and I believe only one of the sides actually has. If you look at the width of the Stingray here, you look at that girth in the back right there, it does not have the same hips as a Z06. You can clearly see the hips on the Z06 are definitely wider, so that thing definitely has a little bit more junk in the trunk when it comes to the Z06 and the ZR1. ZR1 is not wider, I don't believe. It's about the same width as a Z06. It just has more aero, which we're gonna get into here in a moment. So going with aerodynamics, when you look at the Stingray, this is a Z51 package. So one of the options you could have had with the Z51 package is this wing right here. It's a smaller wing, doesn't create a ton of downforce, but does help a little bit with aero for the rear of the car. The package I went with my C8 Z06, I did not go with the Z07 package, which has the higher wing. I actually went with a smaller, kind of mid-range little spoiler here, which creates some downforce, about 380 something pounds of downforce at 186 miles per hour. But then when you look at the ZR1, you have this massive wing here. This thing produces over 1,000 pounds of downforce at 211 miles per hour. I don't know who's gonna be going 211 miles per hour, but you know this thing produces downforce when it's this big. Just look at the size of this wing. This is insane. I mean, you could fit multiple plates of food on this thing. If this was my car, I would probably be like, you know what? Let me grab a whole family and let's see if we can fit a whole family worth of meals on this wing. This is crazy. Now let's take a look at the wheels. When you look at the C8 Stingray here, you have the these wheels, which are, I believe it's like 19 in the front and 20 in the rear, if I'm not mistaken. But let me look just to make sure I'm not losing my mind, because you can clearly see it on the sidewall here. Yes, I was absolutely correct. 19 in the front, 20s in the rear. And then when you move over here to the Z06, that's when you have the 20-inch up front and the 21s in the rear. So these ones up front are 20 by 10, and then in the rear it's 21 by 13. You can clearly see I have some aftermarket wheels here. I have the Forgedlite Magnesium wheels on the Z06. If anyone's looking for any wheels, make sure you go to my website or email me at info@jesseiwujiperformance.com if you want to get some wheels. Forgedlite, I'm a dealer and I can help you out so you can get some beautiful wheels like this. Moving on to the ZR1. The ZR1 actually has basically the same size wheels. You have 20-inch up front and 21s in the rear, but where it's a little bit different here in the rear, let's see if these tires are wider than the Z06. These tires in the rear are 345s. So you still have the same 345s in the rear as you do on the Z06, which has 345. So the tire width, wheel sizes, all that stuff did not change from the Z06 to the ZR1. Now we're gonna take a look at the engine base for these cars. We're not gonna start with the ZR1. Let's start over here with not the Z06. Let's start over with the Stingray over here. So we're gonna go over here to this.
Hey, pop the hood. Pop the hood? Pop the hood.
LT2 motor. It's a 6.2 liter V8 cross-plane crank. Whoa!
It's got one of those big shiny things with a lot of tubes and curly coils coming out of it, with a red doohickey.
It's a beautiful, beautiful engine design and engine bay design. I mean, for a sports car, you can basically get for anywhere from 50 to 80 something grand. I mean, this is beautiful. There's definitely lesser cars that don't look anywhere near as good as this, but 495 horsepower coming from this rear wheel drive. The thing sticks and goes, and 0 to 60 in a pretty good time. I believe like maybe 3 seconds or so, 2.9, I don't know. It's pretty quick. Now moving over to the Z06, you have these LT6 motor here, 670 horsepower. I got a little bit of
Fancy thingamajiggers.
different stuff on here. I got this cross brace that I put on here from Speedway Composites, which is also on my website, JesseIwujiPerformance.com. If you want to get one for yourself to help out your handling for your vehicle, you can get this carbon fiber cross brace here to help. But anyways, you got the LT6, which is 670 horsepower here. You got the twin throttle bodies right here. I also have 91 millimeter throttle bodies from Solar Performance. So if you're looking to get something like that, make sure you get it from my website. You can do that. Or you can go to Solar Engineering and use my code Jesse24 and you will get a discount on any Solar Engineering products. Eventuri right here. Eventuri, I don't have this stock air intake. I have this Eventuri air intake, which you can also get at JesseIwujiPerformance.com or email me at info@JesseIwujiPerformance.com. Anyways, beautiful engine bay. Obviously my car is a little bit modded, so you know, things are a little bit different. It sounds the way it sounds because I have amazing AWE catback with the Phoenyx Designs downpipes, which are amazing. And true Corvette fashion, I got the golf clubs right here. This thing fits perfectly. You can clearly see that this car works the way it's supposed to work. And then moving on to the beast, the king, the ZR1. This wing is in the way. I'm so used to coming back here and not having a wing in my way, and now I have a wing in my way. So okay, well, let me move around this thing. So you can put golf clubs back here. You have plenty of space. So even though you lost the front, you did not lose the trunk.
That's the real deal. But it's not the car you drive. It's the driver who's driving the car that's doing the driving.
Then we have this beautiful twin turbo LT7, 1,064 horsepower cranking out of this monster right here. Beautiful engine. The ZR1 is something that will live on forever. The name of this car has been a king in every single iteration that's ever come out, from the C6, the C7, even the C4 ZR1 was a monster. These things are crazy, and I can't believe that we're getting these kind of cars in this day and age in 2025. It's insane. I cannot wait to see what comes out next. It is a little bit interesting with the ZR1 trying to close this, you know, trunk. So you go like this, and then I gotta like put my hand under here and then close it. But then the electronics let it do a thing. Back here with the Z06, I don't have that wing issue, so I don't have to worry about that. I can just go right there and just close this thing. Easy day, boom, let the electronics do its thing. One thing we didn't talk about yet was brakes on the exterior, right? So let's look at the brakes. The Stingrays here come with these steel brakes right here, which are track ready. You can go on the track, run these things. Now, if you overheat them, they will overheat, so be careful. But you got these decent sized steel track brakes with some, I believe it comes from Brembo, these calipers. Then you move on to the Z06, you have the big old carbon ceramics up front and in the rear, and these things are amazing. I've used these to track so many times, and it's the best braking I've ever had on any vehicle in my entire life, race car or sports car. Then we move over here to the ZR1, and these things, you can literally see your reflection on it. Big old carbon ceramic brakes for the front and the rear. This one doesn't come with the like 2026 package stuff, which is like the huge like 10 piston or whatever the heck it is, 8 piston brakes. I can't remember what it is, but anyways, it's still amazing. These big brakes will help you on track if you decide to track your C8 ZR1. And for the convertible lovers right here, so these aren't convertibles. These right here, you can remove the tops. So there's just like 3 little latch things, and then boom, the top comes off and slides in the rear. Same thing with that. But then for this is actually not a convertible. Why did I think it was a convertible? I'm a dummy. This is not convertible. But what I just said you can do with these two, he literally did with his, and he put his back here. So boom, there you go. No convertible. Now I think that Stingray over there is a convertible. Now you've seen the exterior of all these cars. You've seen the brakes, you've seen the engines, you've seen all that stuff. Now we're gonna go to the interior. Before that, let me know in the comments right now, Which exterior do you prefer the best? Let me know in the comments. Is it Stingray? Is it the Z06? Is it the ZR1? Which one do you prefer? I like the ZR1 right now the most. Now we're gonna take a quick look at the interior, right? So we have the Stingray here. What you're gonna notice with all the C8s pretty much is all the interiors basically look the same. There's not much difference. Like, they're literally all the same. It's one thing I wish GM would have done different was make some major differences between the cars, but they didn't. Now, that's great for the Stingray guys because they have very quality interior. It's not like they get, you know, something that's not great. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful interior, not all plasticky like, you know, people used to say Corvettes used to be. This is a very fancy, very nice, very supercar-ish type interior with everything you could ever need, and it's super comfortable. It's nice. You can drive thousands of miles on it, no issues. Speaking of driving thousands of miles, I literally drove cross country in this car, put like 3,000 miles in like a week on this car. Interior, like I said, is pretty much the same on all these cars. Comfortable, you got plenty of space, headroom for your head. Even if you have a helmet, you got plenty of headroom, and I'm 6 foot, I have no issues. But all these interiors are beautiful. They're pretty much the same. They're comfortable. They hold you in really well when you're tracking the car. It's just overall a solid car. Now going into the ZR1. Here in the ZR1, once again, this interior is a little bit different because it has some upgraded carbon fiber pieces and some nice spec stuff when you look through it. But like, still overall, it's still about the same as pretty much all the other cars. Stingray, Z06, ZR1, it really doesn't change. But once again, you can do some other special spec stuff to make your interior stand out a little bit more, but the layouts are basically the same. Now going to 2026 models, that is going to change quite a bit. If you're trying to figure out if the car is a ZR1 or not, if you see this on the driver's side, right? So if you're looking at the driver's side of the vehicle and you see this little scoop to see the air coming in there to help the cool, whatever it's cooling, turbos or make more power, whatever it is, you'll notice that on the ZR1s. It's not on the Z06 at all, and it's not on the Sting. So now you've seen the interiors of all the cars. Let me know which one you like the most. They're basically all about the same, just different specs. So if you really want to stand out with your C8 platform, whether it's a Stingray, Z06, or ZR1, eRay as well, just spec it out differently than everybody. My eRay, I think, is different than any other eRays or Stingrays or Z06s and Z01s that I've ever seen. And I like my eRay a lot. Next up now, we are going to check the exhaust audio. Let's hear what these cars sound like when you fire them up. Let's see which ones you like, which ones you don't. They're gonna be all different sounds. One of them is a naturally aspirated cross-plane crank V8. The next is a flat-plane crank V8. And then the next is a twin turbo flat-plane crank V8. They're all different. We're gonna see how it is. All right, so now we're behind the Stingray right now. We're gonna fire this thing up. It's a it's a cross-plane crank V8, 6.2 liter, 495 horsepower. Is this exhaust stock? Stock exhaust, so that's great. So let's hear what this thing sounds like when you fire it up, and let's hear what it sounds like at idle.
Whoa, shot the fuck out of me.
Now you heard what that sounds like at idle. That is the cross-plane crank 6.2 liter V8 with the Stingray. It's definitely a deeper sound for sure. That normal Corvette sound that we've been used to hearing for many 20 plus years. That's what the Stingray sounds like. But when we get to the Z06, it's going to be a little bit different. All right, now we're next to the Z06 right here. We're gonna fire this thing up. Let's hear what this thing sounds like once it's fired up at idle. All right, fire it up. Wow, this thing is absolutely nuts. That's a Z06, definitely a lot different sound than the Stingray for sure. You know, obviously mine has some nice mods to it, so it sounds a little bit better than normal. But even stock though, these things sound absolutely incredible. That's what the Z06 sounds like right there. And now we are next to the ZR1. So here is the C8 ZR1, the absolute monster, the king. This one's gonna sound different. Stock exhaust on this thing. Obviously there's turbos too, so that muffles the sound. So it's probably not gonna be as loud, but let's hear what this thing sounds like. Let's do a little bit of a remote start. Let's do it. That is the C8 ZR1. Not bad for stock, not bad for a turbo car that, you know, turbo cars typically are a little bit quieter because the turbos are muffling the exhaust sound. So it's actually not bad at all for a turbo car. But that is the C8 ZR1, the C8 Z06, and the C8 Stingray at idle once you fire them up. Now that you've heard all those cars, all three of them at idle, let me know in the comments which one you prefer the most. Do you prefer the 6.2 liter cross-plane crank V8 from the Stingray? Do you prefer the flat plane crank naturally aspirated LT6 from the Z06, or that twin turbo LT7 from the ZR1? Let me know in the comments which one tickles your fancy the most. Next up, we're gonna hear these things rev up just a little bit so that you can hear what these things sound like once you rev them up a hair. All right, so we're gonna fire up the Stingray right now. And now we're gonna do some revs. We're gonna let you hear what these cars sound like when they're revving up. Whenever you're ready, rev that thing up. Nice. All right, so that is what that cross-plane crank V8, the normal V8 we're used to hearing in Corvettes really for the last 20 plus years or so, that's what that sounds like in the Stingray. We're gonna fire up the Z06. We're gonna hear what this thing sounds like. Revved up is gonna be pretty loud. So get ready. If you're a headphone user, I just say beware. That was a Z06 right there, and that thing is so freaking loud. I'm sorry for the headphone users out there or anybody with a loud TV right now. If you didn't lower your volume, that's the Z06. The Z06 is absolutely nutty. Now we have the C8 ZR1 right here. So we're gonna rev this thing up. Obviously it's, you know, stock exhaust, stock cat, stock, all that stuff. So it will be different, but it is turbocharged, right? So maybe you hear some turbo whistling, maybe you don't, but we're gonna start this thing up, rev it up, and we can let you hear what the stock ZR1 sounds like. All right, now you just heard the C8 ZR1. So you heard the C8 ZR1, you heard the C8 Z06, you heard the C8 Stingray. In the comments, go right now and let me know what your thoughts are. Which one sounds the best to you? Are you more of a Stingray fan with a 6.2 liter cross-plane crank? Are you more of a flat plane crank, naturally aspirated V8 like the Z06? Or are you more of a turbocharged, twin turbocharged C8 ZR1 sound? Like, which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments right now. All right, so the next thing, which you've all been waiting for, my opportunity to drive the ZR1. I'm gonna hop in this thing, I'm gonna do a little drive and get to experience it. I'm not sure exactly what I'll get to do, I just know that I get to drive it. So I'm gonna soak it all in. This is my first time to drive a ZR1. I don't know when the next time I'll get to drive a ZR1, who knows? But I eventually do wanna get some type of ZR1, whether it's a ZR1, ZR1X, or maybe even the Zora when it comes out, because I think that's gonna come out. Chevy did say that they have some more cars that are gonna be on the way. So I fully believe that we're gonna have some more epicness coming out. So who knows if I wait to see what that is, I don't know. But either way, we have a ZR1 right now with us and we are gonna try that out. I'm gonna get to drive it and I'm gonna get to show you exactly how I feel in it. All right, so we're in the C8 ZR1 right now. Michelle was very kind to allow me to drive this. This is my first time driving this 1,000 horsepower beast. We're gonna fire it up, drive around a little bit and I'll get my impressions of it. So fire this thing up. Sounds good. Alrighty, so Everything is all in the same spots as normal. It's just like a normal Z06 and Stingray too as well. Steering wheel feels about the same. Doesn't feel like heavy or anything like that, but we got the thing in Z mode, so I'll be driving in Z mode, so that's higher performance level mode for these cars. At normal driving, it feels kind of the same as a Z06, like not much different, but I'm pretty sure once I go pedal to the metal, it's gonna be a lot different. Now I got it in manual mode, so I'll be pressing the buttons myself. But you know, just my initial thoughts, normal driving is fine, even though it's a 1,000 horsepower car. What a lot of people think is once you get like 1,000 horsepower, all of a sudden like the car feels like 1,000 horsepower all the time, and it doesn't. I think in normal driving, it just feels fine. I can definitely feel the extra weight on the car, that's for sure. As I come to brake right here, I'm used to kind of feeling a certain amount of weight with the vehicle when it's coming to a stop, but Z06 is obviously a little bit lighter. Now if you get on this a little bit more, it definitely starts picking up some more. And that was just a slight little bit of extra throttle. That wasn't even that much. And it starts picking up for sure. Normal tendencies driving feel fine, you know, from braking and coming to a stoplight, doing all that stuff. It all feels fairly normal, you know, nothing too crazy on it. Where the performance really starts kicking in is, like I said, once you start getting on it, especially if you like took it to a track or something, you could, you definitely feel a lot. I'm in first gear, second, you know.
You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail.
The thing is crazy. It gets, like the RPMs just get up there super, super quick. Like, it just picks up. You felt it right there. You're like, whoa.
Not used to being the passenger.
Yeah, it's definitely different. We got another little Stingray right there driving around. But that is, it picks up. It picks up for sure. And you gotta be ready to shift gears because the RPMs are different on this. It's not the same. The Z06 goes up to 8,600. This goes up to, I believe, 8,000 if I'm not mistaken, somewhere up there. But yeah, definitely different than the Z06, but it picks up. But it's like not like unmanageable. So even though it's 1,000 horsepower, I didn't feel at any time that this thing was gonna start, you know, sliding the tires or doing anything. It felt under me, like a car felt under me. Like they managed the torque and the power with the computers really well with this car. It's sounds good too. It's funny, it's just definitely quieter for sure than like, you know, a normal Z06, but it sounds good. Like downshifts sound really good. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, I mean, this thing is cool. Like the ZR1. I wish I had like, you know, a nice long like 1 mile straight where I could just let it rip, because that would be absolutely crazy. I'll put it in the auto mode and we'll see what it feels like there. In the Z mode, obviously, it will make the auto be a little bit more aggressive than normal, but let's see what that feels like. So it's a normal drive. We'll get on it a little bit. Oh my God. It picks up.
Wow.
That was awesome. This thing picks up and it goes. This does what it's supposed to do, and it does it right. Like GM did such a good job with this car, making it manageable. That was my only fear with the car. I'm like, I love that they're giving, you know, people 1,000 horsepower, but I was afraid that I'm like, is that going to be too much for people? I don't know. I mean, this is a lot of power, and not a lot of people can handle that type of power. So how's it going to be? And me just driving it now with all that power, I didn't feel like it was going to kill us. Like, I obviously can control the car, you know, being, you know, with my professional racing background, I have good car control. So even if, like, you know, it started breaking loose, I'm completely fine. I could be driving the car sideways, completely fine, no issues. Not everybody can do that. This car doesn't do it. It allows you to stay within a good level while still driving you forward. And this car is a 9-second car from the factory. I mean, a 9-second car from the factory with these tires on it. These are like not the ultra sticky tires. These are the 300 treadwear tires, and still have this level of grip is just absolutely insane. Oh man, this car is really, really good. And this mannerisms on the street, I like it. Like I could live with this every day. This thing is, I like it. I am giving the ZR1 definitely a plus because it does everything that you want it to do. It gets up and goes. Oh my goodness. I'm not even pedal to the metal. I'm not even wide open throttle. I'm just half throttle, and it does it with ease. Wow. Impressed. Good job, GM. You did an amazing job with this thing. This thing it's good. It is very, very good. Impressive. I'm still not even full throttle. That's the crazy thing. Earlier when we did that one pull, I was, but right now I'm not, and it still picks up and goes, which is what I like. This is what I like with cars, is where you can have some part throttle fun with it. We're gonna make a little U-turn here, turn in. I like that this thing is still stock ride height because you don't have to worry about coming in and out of places. I like scrape everywhere. You can pull to a gas station. It's nice and easy. You're the best looking car there. You can pull out. Everyone here doesn't even realize we're driving a 1,064 horsepower car. This thing does everything you want it to do with the ZR1. Anyone who's doubting this car, don't doubt it, because it is amazing. Now, yes, I haven't gone through any corners or anything like that. You know, I haven't, obviously pushed it on on a track or something like that. But I can feel just from my normal driving with it that this thing is everything that they say it's supposed to be and more. Steering wheel feels nice too as well. Like I like how it's not too heavy, but it's just right. It gives you nice feel with it. It doesn't feel dull. The braking as well doesn't feel dull, doesn't feel numb. It feels good. Got a nice little half throttle pull again. So crazy. Like half throttle in this feels like full throttle in the Z06. Like that's absolutely nuts. Man, this is cool. It's all smiles with this car. This is so cool. And now, like, it makes me be like, what does the ZR1X feel like? With like 200 more horsepower and all-wheel drive. That is going to be something else. That's going to be something else. I don't even know what to do with myself once that car comes out. Like, I know the eRay was really, really cool. And now I'm trying to imagine eRay mixed with this car. Like, it's gonna break the world. Like I don't know what else to do after that. Unless they come out with something that makes even more power, which they probably will. Yeah, this is cool. It's smooth. Power delivery is smooth in there. It's not trying to kill you. I've had 1,000 horsepower cars before, 2 of them. And they were built from shops. And those felt like they were trying to kill me.
So much torque. The chassis twisted coming off the line.
This is 1,000 horsepower and it's a 9-second car and it doesn't feel like it's trying to kill me. Like it's all there. It's aggressive when it needs to be aggressive. It's calm when it needs to be calm. It's halfway aggressive when it needs to be halfway aggressive. It's just everything you know. Man, ZR1 gets an A+ in my book. This is so cool that I got an opportunity to drive one. There's not a lot of these out there right now. I mean, probably no more than 100, I would say. This is incredible. GM did a really good job with the ZR1. I got to feel it. I'm a believer. I know it. So nobody can refute anything I say on this video because I've actually felt it. And if you're watching this, you probably haven't felt it. So I know what I'm talking about. This thing is cool. Man, I don't know how you don't drive this every single day. This thing is really cool. Get one last little pull. Handling is all there too. Man. This thing is cool. There's a helicopter over there. I'm pretty sure this car will beat the helicopter. I have no doubts that it will beat that helicopter in the air if we did a drag race. Man, this thing is cool. I like it. So that was a ZR1 right there. The thing is absolutely incredible. The power delivery, like I said, is really, really good. The car doesn't feel like it's gonna kill you, even though it's 1,000 horsepower. I've owned 1,000 horsepower cars, and they feel like they are going to absolutely kill you if you don't pay attention. With that car, you can go full throttle even on the street, and it's gonna take it. Like, they did a really good job with the computers on it, managing the torque delivery, so it doesn't overpower the tires and the wheels on the street. Like, you can get on the car, pick up and go. It manages it. It's almost like it makes it feel like the C06 for the first little bit down low, and then the turbos kick in and then really start having you hammer once it knows it has the proper grip. Like, they just did a really good job with all their computations to make sure that that works for the ZR1. And the thing is just, it's a beauty. It looks good. It feels good. It's actually fast. It's actually fast. And I know you've seen it on the drag strip. These things have gone in the 9s. I think the fastest one so far is like maybe 9.7 or so, but wait till it cools down. We're still in the middle of the summer. I mean, right now it's like 90 degrees outside. We're in the middle of summer. Like, once it hits the winter and it starts becoming like 50 degrees outside and people take it to a drag strip, these things are going to go low 9s, even on the street tires. Throw a drag radial on it, I bet you somebody's going to take this into the 8-9 club. I promise. So, man, ZR1, amazing. Big thanks to Michelle for allowing me to drive for C8 ZR1, to get the opportunity to drive such an animal of a car for like 10 minutes. That was really cool, and I got to get on it and drive. Obviously, I'm not on a track, so I can't like go like really, really fast, and I can't go take corners at high speeds, but I fully believe that this thing can handle it for sure. The ZR1 is cool. It is very, very cool. Hey, the Z06 is no slouch though. I love the sound of the Z06. We're gonna grab some food here in a little bit before we end this video. Grab a little quick bite here. Man, this that ZR1 experience was epic, and I'm so happy that I have the chance to drive that, and the chance to even, you know, have my own Z06 here. I know the Z06 isn't the ZR1, but the Z06 is still amazing too. The ZR1 is just on a whole nother level. Usually in these videos I do a drive in both cars, but you've seen my Z06 plenty of times in plenty of videos. If you haven't seen my Z06 in my other videos, you definitely should go watch the other videos. You can clearly hear the car is a beast, especially when you downshift. The Z06 is crazy. Anyways, I love it. It's a monster. You know, the difference is kind of, I felt like I said, the ZR1, the power delivery is there, but it's managed so well by the computers on the car. The car doesn't feel like it's going to kill you. It is a calm 1,000+ horsepower vehicle, and the folks who have put it on the dyno have confirmed that it makes basically about 1,000 horsepower to the wheels, to the motors, making it 1,064. The Z06 is still a freaking monster though. It doesn't get better than these Corvettes, man. I mean, I know people like Porsches and this and that, but those cars are great. But this, the ZR1, the ZR1X, boy. Golly, I mean, downshifting on this car never gets old. I know y'all like tunnels. There's a small tunnel we're gonna go through so you can hear this thing. I really like that arrow on the ZR1. It was very, very nice. I mean, I know I've seen it a few times now, but it's really growing on me even more. I mean, I liked it initially when it first came out. I'm like, this is the perfect arrow for a Corvette. and now I want it really bad. I want the hood, I want the rear wing, I want it all, because I want to give my Z06 that level of aero so that when I take it back to the track, I can go start smashing on people even more. I've already done, I think, all right with no aero, but the car could be so much better if it had real aero. I mean, I know, like, just not having the Z07, the full Z07 package on my car has definitely hindered my lap times a little bit, but I know with light wheels and good aero and these small bolt-on mods that I have on the car's gonna fly. The C8 Z06 does not have ZR1 horsepower, but it still has some horsepower. 670, and it's still solid. Thank you everybody for tuning into this video. It's been super fun. Can't even speak. I had a really good time getting a chance to drive this C8 ZR1. Obviously, I love driving my C8 Z06. I cannot wait till the next adventure on what else I'm gonna drive. I probably need to get a video in at some point where we compare the ZR1 to some other vehicles on track, including the Z06. Would love to see that comparison, but the only way to do that is to get all of them on track. So I gotta figure that out at some point, and I will. I'll figure it out somehow, some way. But until then, keep tuning into the videos. Let me know if you need any parts, comment any questions you got, and we'll make it happen. Before we go, you're gonna listen to the downshifts one more time.